Hello, everybody. This is Waldorf,
And this is Statler.
and we're continuing with the Beta 2.0 rules. Is that what I'm saying? No, I guess.
That you can say that, sure.
Sure.
Chapter 17, Model Classification.
Dun, dun. So,
It's not modal, it's model.
that guy's different.
Yes.
All models have a size and type defined in their unit inventory. This is a change. The whole section is a change.
This whole section is very, they've leaked this before, but
Yes.
this whole section is very different than everything that's preceded it.
Right.
Basically, how you determine line of sight is, as we talked about earlier, is different based on your size, and there are less sizes. So,
Correct.
But they do combinations, which work actually pretty well. So you have three sizes. If we read across the top of this chart, standard, large, and gigantic. Standard is basically, general infantry and beasts, and large is usually monstrous infantry.
Monstrous Cav, monstrous infantry.
And then gigantic is big monsters.
Yep.
So the chart's very straightforward to read. It tells you how many ranks. It counts to get a full rank, so this hasn't changed. Regular dudes still have 5, unless you have a special rule like Equitane. Large is 3, and gigantic still has 1. Supporting attacks, how many supporting attacks each model can give.
I want to see a gigantic guy in a unit.
Yes.
I don't think that's possible.
That doesn't have to sit in the front of the unit, like a platform or something. Yeah.
I don't think a character can join a towering presence model.
Well, I was thinking some platforms don't they have a gigantic?
Oh, maybe they do.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but they'd have to be in the front rank usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, not sure. Okay.
I think it would be great to put a heavily armored character with a giant following him.
that would work well.
Formed in a conga line, one behind the other.
Only if you can give them a chain, they'd be pulling them along. That'd be much better.
Anyway.
So supporting attacks still the same: 1, 3 for monstrous, and 5 for gigantic, which is, I guess, new. We have to figure out how that works. If you can think of an example, post it in the comments.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
And then how many dangerous Tyrols. T-roll. Dangerous terrain. There we go.
Okay.
Dangerous terrain check die rolls you have to make when you go through run through dangerous terrain, basically.
Yep.
Still the same. 1 for standard size.
It's a little bit different.
2 for large. Yeah, because we don't have the other
It
categories.
used to be a 4
Yeah,
for gigantic.
that's true. And now 3 for gigantic.
Right. And I believe later on we'll see, I think chariots get a +1.
Yeah, there's other things
to
we'll get to the other
dangerous
section.
range,
Then the special model rules. Stomp attacks, they're still in the rules. Stomp attacks for large things, and then the uber stomp for the extra large
and I'm
things.
assuming there'll be exceptions to this as well for like the Tusker Cav, because it's going to be large and it usually has D3.
Yeah, I'm.
So I'm sure
well, this
they'll
is a
have
standard rule. I'm sure.
Standard. I'm sure there'll be
Yeah,
exceptions.
anything that's a special rule in the book, it always takes precedence. So I don't think that's any different. Towering presence, which is you're extra big for getting shot by cannons. Massive bulk. I forget what massive bulk was.
I think that's the one where if your character on a thing, you don't attack the character, you attack the rider.
Yes, you're correct.
I mean, you attack the
You're
beast.
correct. You attack the beast, and you don't get any of the bonuses from the character's
Right.
protection. Yes, and then a terror, which is the same as before. So there's special rules that apply to those different.
So
categories.
all gigantic models have these rules.
Right.
Next type is we have types. Infantry gain nothing.
Yes.
Beast,
Well, they get a dash.
They do get a dash.
They can.
Beast gains swift stride. Cav gains swift stride. They cannot be stomped, and they gain tall, so they can now see over models of
Right.
equal height.
Which we'll get to shortly.
And constructs cannot use stomp attacks and have the chariot special rule.
Right. These constructs are basically chariots and platforms and things of that nature. Models on foot and mounted models, and here's where the tall comes in. Certain spells or rules can affect mounted models or models on foot differently. Any model with no model part with harnessed is considered to be on foot. And the harness shows up in your army list. It'll be next to your horse or your boar or whatever the heck you're riding. Any model with at least one model part with harnessed is considered to be mounted.
Okay. Just a distinction if you're mounted or not.
Right. How you determine if you're mounted. It's if you have harnessed on your mount.
So character mount. When a character, he always uses the size, type, and base of the mount when he gets on a mount.
Right.
Uh,
The combined models mount. Yes.
Rider and mounts use their own respective offensive characteristics. Defense. The combined model has a single set of global characteristics and a single set of defensive characteristics. If both the rider and the mount have a certain global or defensive characteristic, use the value of the mount and ignore the riders. However, if the mount doesn't have a value for global and defensive characteristics, use the rider instead. This is marked as using C.
So basically, this isn't any different than it was before. But when you look at the army books, you'll see the C instead of a number in some cases.
Like if the goblin's riding a wolf.
Right.
It's a C because you're using the goblin instead of the wolf.
Right.
Otherwise, you use the mount, right?
Mm-hmm. And you'll see that when we do our army reviews if you don't look in the meantime.
Model rules connected to specific model parts, such as attack attributes, special attacks, and weapons, are only applied to this model part.
Right.
Just because your rider has stomp doesn't mean your monster gets it.
Or vice versa, more
Yes.
than likely. Yeah.
Other model rules, such as universal rules, character, personal protections, are applied to the combined unit as normal. Remember that models with massive bulk ignore armor and personal protections from the rider.
Right. So if you're
This
on
is all as before,
It's as
just
before.
written different.
exactly.
Correct?
Yes. Is exactly what it is.
Okay. And I think that's going to do it for
Yes. That's going to do it for Parts is Parts.
Thank you for listening.
Till the next one.